Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. So, from one of our subscribers' request, I have come up with an important topic, which is titration. Now, guys, titration is very important for JPAT and NIPER, and I want you to have its concepts very clear. So, today we will be discussing about precipitation titration, especially Mohr's method. Now, titration is a very huge topic, and I will be preparing separate videos for the same, so stay tuned. Today, we are focusing on precipitation titration. So, now let us begin. Now, what is titration? First of all, it is very important to understand. Now, titration is nothing but to determine the concentration of an unknown chemical moiety present in the sample. Okay, so titration is just to determine the concentration of an unknown chemical moiety which is present in our sample. So, for that, we use titration. Now, there are various types of titrations, as I've already told you. One is precipitation. It is having another name, and that is called argentometric titration. Now, why is it named so? Here, in precipitation titration, we are using a precipitating agent, and that precipitating agent is called silver nitrate. And as it is using silver nitrate, and hence it is named so argentometric titration, because we are using here silver nitrate as a precipitating agent. Now the name itself suggests precipitation titration. So here we will be having precipitates at the end, and once this precipitation occurs, it means the end point is achieved. Now, this precipitation titration determines the concentration of various monovalent ions. Okay, monovalent ions like silver Ag plus, then halide ions like chloride, bromide, iodide, etc., and thiocyanate SCN minus. So these type of monovalent ions are generally detected through this argentometric titration. Fine. Now let's come to its types. See, it is having four types of method. One is Mohr's method, second is Volhard's method, third is Fagen's method, and the fourth one is Gay-Lussac method. Okay. Now, important point. Guys, take your notes and pen and write this point. Fagen's method. This Fagen's method is based on the principle of adsorption. This question is very much asked in JPAT and NIPER, so I want you to be clear. Okay, Fagen's method is based on what? Adsorption principle. Fine. And Gay-Lussac method, it is the method which is used without any indicator. Other methods will use indicator. Here we will not require any indicator. In which method? Gay-Lussac method. Okay. So note this point, and now let us move towards Mohr's method. Okay. See, Mohr's method is a direct method of analysis. So sometimes even MCQs are asked, like Mohr's method is a direct method, indirect method, none of the above or all of the above. Then you should be knowing that Mohr's method is a direct method of analysis. On the other hand, Volhard's method is indirect method of analysis. So right now let us focus just on Mohr's method. So here, what is the principle? See, as we have already discussed, that this precipitation titration will be determining the concentration of these halide ions and monovalent ions basically. Okay, so here halide ion will be titrated, whose concentration we need to determine. Okay, so halide ion will be titrated with silver nitrate, and potassium chromate is used as an indicator. So here what is used as an indicator in Mohr's method? Potassium chromate. Okay, which gives brick red color precipitates of silver chromate. And once we get this silver chromate brick red precipitates, it means the end point has been achieved. Now, indicator used is what? Potassium chromate. Now we also have an alternative here. We can use eosin as well as an alternative indicator in Mohr's method. Fine. Now precipitation titration is based on the principle of this solubility product. Now what is the solubility product? So solubility product is nothing but the product of the concentration of the ions in the saturated solution. So if I have, say, a solution in which I have ions, okay, in this case AgCl, silver chloride. So the product of this Ag plus ions and Cl minus ions is going to give me this solubility product called as KSP. Okay, and now this is precipitation titration, right? So we need precipitates, means they should not be soluble, and hence the solubility product of our desired precipitates should be less. And if the solubility product of the precipitates would be less, then and only then it can get precipitated. So here KSP of silver chromate is less as compared to the silver chloride. I hope so that this is clear. In order to get precipitates, the solubility product should be what? Less of the desired precipitates to determine the endpoint. Okay. Now, let us now come to the reaction which is involved in this. So we have seen that in the saturated solution, what will happen? Chloride ions will be in excess, and if chloride ions will be in excess, then of course silver nitrate is going to react with chloride first. Okay, and it will be giving precipitates of AgCl. Though its KSP is solubility product is larger than silver chromate, but as it is excess, so we will get at first AgCl, and that's very obvious. Okay, but this will happen only till the equivalence point is achieved. After the equivalence point, once equivalence point is achieved, okay, chloride will be consumed. Now we have what? Silver chromate will be formed from reaction of the silver nitrate with this indicator. Okay, here the concentration of indicator used is 0.0014 molar. Okay, and brick wet precipitate determines the endpoint of this reaction. However, this Mohr's method has certain limitations. First is that it should be operated only between the pH of 6.5 to 9. If the pH will be reduced, if the pH is less than 6.5, then what will happen? Chromic acid will form, because this is acidic pH, so we will get chromic acid here. And if the pH is greater than 9, that is basic pH, hydroxide ion formation, that is silver hydroxide formation will happen, and both of this will interfere with the endpoint detection, and we don't want that. Okay, so the pH should be maintained between 6.5 to 9, otherwise we will get wrong or false information. Okay, another limitation is that it cannot be used for iodide ions and thiocyanate ions. This is also very important. Okay, note it for your GPAT and NIPER points. Okay, iodide and thiocyanate ions are not detected through this Mohr's method. Why? See here, when we used chloride, what we were getting? AgCl, right? Here we will be getting similarly what? AgI, that is silver iodide, and here we will be getting silver thiocyanate. Now both of this will absorb the chromate ions, and again it will be giving false information. It will interfere with the endpoint detection, and hence this is another limitation for Mohr's method. So I hope it is clear. Mohr's method, entire Mohr's method is clear. Now you can write it in your exams, and your GPAT and NIPER important points has also been covered here. In case you have any doubt in this method, or if you want any specific topic, then please do let me know in the comment box. I'll be happy to help you out. Till then, stay focused, work hard, and all the best.